Hi everyone, welcome back to another Strong Yoga for Small Spaces sequence. Today's sequence is going to be a full body flow, so it's designed to build stamina for sun salutations and a more dynamic Vinyasa yoga practice, whereby we typically flow in between each of the held postures in the practice. So it takes shoulder strength, core strength, leg strength, and we'll be moving through today's sequence, focusing on different postures to strengthen all over the body. So we'll start as usual in easy pose or any position that feels comfortable to get set up here for a few rounds of breath. And just begin by resting the palms of the hands on the knees, sitting up nice and tall and softening the eyelids closed. See if you can begin by inviting the breath a little bit deeper into the lower belly, and as you exhale, start to hug the belly button back toward the spine and begin to feel that core engagement. We'll take a few rounds of breath together now, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Gently blink the eyelids open and inhale to float the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And if you're using a block or a bolster or a cushion, we'll just take that out the way and we're going to begin our practice sitting down today. So once again, inhaling to float the arms up, connecting the palms, maybe raising the gaze toward the thumbs. And as you exhale, drop the right fingertips down to the earth. Inhale, reach up and overhead. Roll that left shoulder away from the ear. Stay long through both sides of the waist. And then inhale to find your way back through center. Left fingertips come to the base of the spine. Right fingertips come to the left knee. Inhale, begin to sit up nice and tall. And exhale, maybe apply some pressure here to that right palm to help you twist around in space. So we're turning the gaze back over the left shoulder if that's comfortable for the neck. Keep drawing the belly button back toward the spine to engage the lower belly and help support the lower spine. Take one more breath, see if you can sit up a little bit taller, and exhale to twist a little bit deeper. And then gently inhale to unravel the spine, and exhale to soften back in. We'll take it to the other side. Inhale, float the arms up. Connect the palms, maybe raise the gaze toward the thumbs. And exhale, drop the left fingertips to the earth. Inhale, reach up and over. Find your way into that side stretch to the opposite side. So make sure the neck stays long. You're welcome to look up toward the fingertips if that feels comfortable for the neck. Keep grounding down through the right seat bone. And inhale, come back, right fingertips come to the base of the spine, left fingertips to the right knee. Inhale, see if you can sit up a little bit taller, and exhale, twist around in space, turning the gaze back over the right shoulder. So if that feels too much for the neck, you're welcome to keep the gaze straight toward the side of the room or in line with the spine. Just be wary of how that feels, and exhale. See if you can twist a little bit deeper, find that core engagement. And then gently inhale to unravel and exhale to soften back in. We'll stay seated just for a little while longer, extending the right leg long, flexing the toes up toward the sky, left heel stays in toward the seat bone. We'll pivot to face that foot, and as you exhale, start to crawl the fingertips towards the right toes. So try to keep as straight a spine as possible as you do so. Maybe that means that you're up here, maybe you're all the way down by the foot. Just make sure that you're not rounding through the spine. So keep the chest lifted. As you exhale, see if you can fold a little bit deeper. And on your inhale, gently start to round your way up nice and slowly. Bring the left fingertips to the outer edge of the left thigh. And we're going to press down into the shin of the left leg. As you inhale, lift up into the supported side plank. So lengthening through both sides of the waist. Once again, maybe lifting the gaze toward the right fingertips. And then exhale, drop back down. We'll switch out to the opposite side. Right heel comes in, left leg goes long, flex the toes toward the sky and turn to face the left foot. Gently exhale, start to crawl the fingertips a little bit further. Try to keep as straight a spine as possible, hinging from the hips rather than bending from the lower back. So keep the chest lifted. Take one more inhale. Exhale, see if you can soften a little bit further. And then gently inhale to walk the fingertips back up towards the body. Right fingertips come to the outer edge of the right thigh. Prepare to press down into the shin of the right leg and lift yourself up the supported side plank. Left arm reaches long, extend all the way from the fingertip to the toe of the left foot. Take one more inhale. And exhale, soften back in. We're going to cross the ankles in front of the body and come all the way forwards onto our hands and knees for tabletop position. So stacking the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Pressing down actively through the palms to lift the torso. We'll begin with our cat-cow. Inhaling to drop the belly down, squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting the gaze and lifting the tailbone. And exhale to tuck the tailbone under. Press actively through the palms, drop the crown of the head toward the earth. Sequencing here at your own pace of breath now. You can move as quickly or as slowly as you would like. Exhale, articulate through the spine as you drop the gaze toward the navel, tuck the tailbone forwards. Inhale one more time, lift the gaze, reach the heart forwards. And exhale, round through the spine. And as you inhale, find your way back to a nice neutral position. We'll walk the hands a little bit further forwards in space. And as you inhale, hug the elbows toward the rib cage. Start to soften the pelvis toward the earth. And drop the forehead onto the ground. So make sure the palms are stacked directly underneath the shoulders. As you inhale, start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Find that engagement in the back. Press lightly into the palms to lift up to your cobra pose. And then exhale, lift all the way up and back. Drop the hips toward the heels of the feet. And we'll soften into our child's pose. So bringing the forehead down to the mat. Activating through the arms, extending all the way to the tips of the fingers. And just taking some time to see if you can invite the breath a little bit further down the back body. So drawing that inhale all the way down into the lower back. And as you exhale, see if you can soften the chest and the belly a little bit closer to the earth between the thighs. Take one more breath here. And as you inhale, start to lift back up to your tabletop position. So realigning yourself here. And we'll go to tuck the toes and take a nice big inhale to press up and back into a downward facing dog. So maybe start nice and slowly just by pedaling out through the heels of the feet. Maybe swaying the hips from side to side. And if your hamstrings feel a little bit tight, bring a deep bend into both knees and really aim to press the chest back toward the thighs. Tilt the tailbone toward the sky. So notice if your legs are straight, if the heels are lifted and the back is rounded, then maybe keep a bend in the knees, keep the heels off of the ground, modify as needed to keep a nice straight spine. And maybe the heels of the feet will feel a little bit heavier with time. So we'll start to move with the breath here as you inhale, ripple through the spine, roll all the way forwards to your high plank position. Stack the shoulders above the wrists. I was going to say ankles, that would be clever. Exhale, drop the knees to the earth, hug the elbows in, soften onto the belly. Slide the feet out, inhale, rise to your cobra pose. And exhale, tuck the toes, press down through the knuckles at the base of the fingers as you lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog, 3 breaths. So soften the gaze toward the tips of the toes or maybe up toward the knees here. Make sure that you're long through the back of the neck. Keep sucking the belly button back toward the spine and the lower ribs towards one another. So sometimes the ribs can sort of splay out here. See if you can keep the chest and the core nice and integrated in terms of strength. And at the bottom of your next exhale, start to roll through the spine. Once again, find your way forwards, high plank position. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, drop the knees, hug the elbows in, soften onto the belly. Inhale, rise to your cobra pose. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog, 3 breaths. So notice here if you're long through the lower back or you're rounding through the lower back, see if you can tilt the tailbone up toward the sky. Shift the weight of the body back towards the feet and away from the wrists. And on your next inhale, start to ripple through the spine, roll your way forwards to a high plank position. Exhale, drop the knees, hug the elbows in, soften onto the belly. Inhale, rise to your cobra pose. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog, 3 more breaths. Now at the bottom of this exhale, prepare to bend the knees, shift the gaze toward the top of the mat, and as you inhale, start to step your way up, nice and slowly. And once you arrive at the top of the mat, make sure that the feet are about hip-width distance apart, and just grab a hold of the elbows, maybe drop the crown of the head down toward the earth, and just sway from side to side in your ragdoll fold. So you're welcome to keep a nice bend in the knees here if that feels easier on the hamstrings. And on your next exhale, release the fingertips to the earth. As you inhale, we're going to bend into the knees, drop the tailbone down towards the earth. See if you can bring the thighs parallel to the ground and reach the fingertips forwards for this chair pose variation. So keep hugging the belly up and away from the thighs. Shift the weight of the body back into the heels of the feet. Take 2 more breaths here. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Make sure that the neck is nice and long. 1 more breath. And exhale, fold forward, straighten through the legs, sway from side to side. Take a recovery breath here. I'm going to do the same thing again as you inhale, bend into the knees, drop the thighs parallel to the mat, reach the fingertips forwards, soften the gaze, belly hugs away from the thighs. 2 more breaths. And exhale, fold back in, straighten the legs, drop the head and neck down. We'll take that one more time as you inhale, bend back into the knees, drop the thighs parallel, bring the weight of the body back into the heels of the feet, fingertips reach forwards. 2 more breaths. And exhale, fold back in, sway from side to side, take 1 recovery breath. Now on your next inhale, start to slide the palms of the hands up the shins, extend the spine along for a flat back position, crown of the head reaches forwards. And then exhale, pull onto the palms, step all the way back to your high plank. And we'll stay here for a couple of breaths now. Lucky us. So make sure that the shoulders are stacking above the wrists. And just watch what the tailbone is doing here. Sometimes if we're feeling lazy, it can lift up or drop down. See if you can activate through the backs of the legs. Keep kicking through the heels of the feet so that you've got a poker straight line from the crown of the head to the heels of the feet. So same principle applies for the neck. Sometimes when we're concentrating in plank, it's easy to drop the head down. See if you can keep the gaze lifted slightly out in front of the body. Take 1 more inhale. And exhale, drop the knees, hug the elbows in, slide onto the belly. Inhale, rise to your cobra pose. And exhale, tuck the toes, spread the fingers wide, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. So from here, bend the knees, shift the gaze forwards. This time as you inhale, step the right foot through between the hands at the front of the mat. Stack the right knee above the right ankle. Energize through that left leg and keep kicking through the heel of the foot. So left knee stays lifted as you inhale. Float the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, lean forwards over that right thigh and reach the fingertips back in space. So try to resist the urge to rest on that thigh. Keep lifting the belly up and away from your quadricep here. Activate through the arms, so reach the fingertips away from the shoulders. Take 1 more breath here. And then inhale to float the arms up. Exhale, drop them down, frame that front foot. Inhale, slide the foot back to your high plank position. Exhale, drop the knees, hug the elbows in. Inhale, lift to your cobra pose. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog, 3 breaths here. So prepare to take that sequence to the opposite side, bending into the knees, shifting the gaze forwards. Inhale, step the left foot to the front of the mat. Aim to stack the left knee above the left ankle. Energize through that right leg so that the back knee stays lifted. And all together on your next in-breath, we're going to inhale and float the arms up. And then exhale, lean forwards over that left thigh, reach the fingertips back. So notice what's happening in that back leg. When it starts to feel a bit lazy, that knee will start to droop. Keep pressing up through the back of the right leg. Keep lifting from the arms so that the shoulders stay lifted, rolling down and away from the ears. Belly keeps lifting up and away from the left quadricep. And on your next inhale, float the arms up. Keep your balance. Exhale, drop the arms down. Frame the front foot. Inhale, slide back to your high plank position. Exhale, drop the knees, hug the elbows in, soften onto the belly. Inhale, rise to your cobra pose. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So 3 more breaths here. Maybe the heels of the feet start to feel a little bit heavier now. The backs of the legs a little bit longer. Even out the pace of your breath. And at the bottom of your next exhale, bend the knees, send the gaze forwards. Inhale, step both feet up to the top of the mat this time. Slide the palms up the shins for your flat back position. And exhale, plant the palms. Inhale, step back to your plank position. Now option this time to drop the knees or add on to challenge your strength by taking a full chaturanga dandasana. Shifting the weight of the body forwards and bending into the elbows. Keep the knees lifted, see if you can hover halfway, head and neck stay in line with the spine. Inhale, press into the palms to lift up to your upward facing dog. And exhale, press down, engage the lower belly, lift up and back, downward facing dog, 3 more breaths. And on your next exhale, drop the knees to the earth, cross the ankles over behind the body, and send the legs all the way out long. So we're going to release in a seated forward fold. So if you know that your hamstrings are a little bit tight, maybe keep a bend in the knees or maybe extend the legs all the way straight. Flex the toes up toward the sky. And inhale to reach forwards, up and overhead. Exhale to hinge from the hips. Reach forwards for the feet or maybe for the shins. So wherever feels comfortable and wherever allows you to keep a nice straight spine. So if you're reaching for the toes, that you've got a real round going on here through the upper or through the lower back, maybe just give yourself a little bit more space. And every time you exhale, see if you can soften a little bit deeper. So a little trick here is to keep reaching the chest forwards and keep the gaze lifted, just to make sure that you're keeping as straight as possible through the back body. One more exhale, see if you can soften a little bit deeper. And then gently inhale, round through the spine, come all the way back up. We're going to take one final strengthening posture before we come down onto our backs, which is our reverse tabletop or reverse plank. So we'll take this 3 times and we'll add on for those who want to go further. So walking the feet a little bit closer in towards the seat bones. Make sure the feet are parallel and about hip width distance apart. And we'll bring the palms of the hands down underneath the shoulders, fingertips point down toward the heels of the feet. And as you inhale, start to press down through the hands and feet and lift all the way up. So the pelvis presses toward the sky and you're aiming to keep the thighs and the torso as parallel to the earth as possible. You've got the option to tilt the chin toward the chest or maybe extend the head back. Just make sure that the neck remains in line with the spine and doesn't start collapsing down toward the earth. So yogi's choice here. Take one more inhale and exhale, drop it down, reach forwards, maybe hug the knees in toward the chest. And we'll take this 2 more times, so bringing the hands back, fingertips point toward the top of the mat. As you inhale, press down through the hands and the feet, lift all the way up. So find a really nice dynamic breath here. See if you can find that audible rasp of the inhale and exhale at the back of the throat as you inhale through the nose. And exhale, drop the tailbone down, hug the knees in. Now, if that already feels challenging, take another go or maybe come straight down onto the back. For those who want to add on, we'll try a reverse plank position. So extending the legs straight, pointing the toes, bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders, fingertips point forwards. And this time, see if you can keep the legs straight as you inhale. Press down through the heels of the feet, lift the pelvis. And you should see if you can bring the soles of the feet as flat as possible to the earth. That's a good indication that you found your maximum edge in this posture. Take a couple more full rounds of breath if you can. It's quite normal to shake here. You're strengthening through the entire of the back body. One more inhale. And exhale, drop all the way down, reaching forwards to counter stretch. And another seated forward fold, and just soften in here for a couple of breaths. So gently inhale, roll through the spine and hug the knees in. We're coming all the way down onto our backs. So just take some time to draw some nice big circles with the knees or rock from side to side. Anything that feels nice, just to release through the lower back after your reverse tabletop or reverse plank, whichever version you took there. And we'll finish with a nice supine twist. So opening the arms to the sides. Exhale, begin to drop the knees to the right. Keep grounding down through the left shoulder blade and maybe turn the gaze back toward the left fingertips. So as always, this is your opportunity to allow the breath to return to a more natural rhythm. Maybe to soften the eyelids closed and perform a mental scan of the body. See if you can become aware of any remaining areas of tightness or tension. And see if you can take a moment to surrender to the shape. Gently inhale now to draw the knees back to center. And exhale nice and slowly. Drop the knees over to the left. Turn the gaze back toward the right fingertips if it feels comfortable for the neck. Notice how the stretch feels on this side of the body. Allow yourself a few rounds of breath to soften in. And take a nice deep inhale to draw the knees back to center and hug them in toward the chest, this time balling up nice and tight, squeezing the nose toward the knees. And as you exhale, release the legs all the way out long for Shavasana. So feet relax a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Arms come down by the sides of the body, palms turn up to face the ceiling. Begin to soften the space between the eyebrows, slacken the jaw, and release the tongue inside of the mouth. No longer controlling the breath, but simply observing the natural rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations. So as always, you can stay here for as long as you'd like. But if you want to start waking yourself up from this one, begin by lengthening your inhalations and deepening your exhalations. Maybe inviting some small movements back into the body by bending into the fingers and toes, or circling up through the wrists and ankles. If it feels nice to take one final full body stretch, take a deep inhale to float the arms up and overhead and stretch out through the legs. And then begin to bend the knees back and toward the body as you exhale. curl onto one side. And nice and slowly, in your own time, in your own way, begin to find your way back up to an easy seat. So however you began your practice here, softening the eyelids closed and returning the palms of the hands to the knees. Sitting up nice and tall and bringing the attention back to the breath. We'll take one final inhale all together. Float the arms up and overhead. Connect the palms at the top. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Tilt the chin toward the chest. And inhale to open your eyes. Namaste.